Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Joey Bailey with Created in Awe. Welcome to the Magnolia Design Co. National Craft Month event, Connect and Craft. I am so happy to be here to help represent Magnolia Design Co. I have been a creator with Magnolia since 2020, and I have just been slowly growing my business, and I get more and more excited every time I open my eyes in the morning to know what I'm going to get to do as I grow my business with Magnolia Design Co. So I am so glad you're here. If you're hopping on live, please talk to us in the comments. You will find a Google form linked down there that you need to go and fill out if you have not done so already today. You only do it one time. If you've been watching some of the other presenters and you've done it, then you are good to go, because they are spinning the wheel of people on that wheel from doing the Google form and gifting out some gift certificates today. So be sure you go to that Google form. I am going to make sure that I have everything in place, and I want to announce a couple of things, and then we're going to get started. So let me see. I think I've got everything covered on the details, and I want to make sure I can see your comments. So I'm going to refresh my screen. If you have not been watching the presenters today, make sure you go back and watch the replays. There have been some really amazing projects. I have just been mesmerized all day. I almost couldn't pull myself away from Renee before me to get set up for this. So be sure you catch all of those, and then there are more presenters after me. In fact, immediately after me is Amy Seraphin with Hopeful Design, Chalks, and more. So make sure you stay tuned. She will be coming on. I have 30 minutes with you. Oh, good, and my sound is good. I just have to check a few things because I'm all by myself in here when I'm working on this. We have several people on. Thank you for being here. Susan, Anne Marie, thank you. Tammy's here. Glennis, Jeanette. Oh, I've got several people, some of our crafting sisters in this amazing support community that we have. Thank you for being here, guys. I'm going to dig in, and then as I go along, I will try to answer any questions. If I can't, I know some of our sisters here in Magnolia, sisters and brothers, can answer your questions, or it may be one of the page administrators. So I will also come back and check after we're done and see if I can say hi to any of you. If you're new to Magnolia Design Co. products and today is the first day you're seeing it, please tell us that you're new down in the comments. We'd love to know. And if you have a current creator, make sure you check in with her or with him for any of the products that you see here today so that you can get their shopping link and go shop with them, okay? If you do not have a creator with Magnolia Design Co., be sure to go to magnoliadesignco.com, and you can search for somebody in your area right there. So you can still shop even if you don't already have a creator. So I do hope that you'll check out what I do on Created in Awe while I knock things over. Just be aware. I've tried to clear my elbow space today so I don't knock stuff over. So let's get started. Let me see if I can make sure I see any questions. All right, Amy sprinkled. Yes, sprinkle, guys. Spread the inspiration out there. Oh, hey, Lisa. Oh, I'm excited, but I'm nervous. Okay, I've done this before, but I'm changing it up a little bit, guys. I'm using our Pennant Banner. It's a 7x11 size. Normally it comes in this nice kind of off-white or ecru color, but I coffee stained mine. Has anybody out there, do you coffee stain? Do you like kind of vintage, antique look, grunge look to your crafts? I want to know in the comments if any of you are out there, because I coffee stained this so that it would be, look, it looks all old and it looks like it's been around for a good long time, right? Now, I'm actually going to cover up a lot of this with the rub-on transfer that I'm going to use. Oh, this little pennant also, it has a pocket sewn in it so that you can slide it onto a dowel rod. This comes with it as well. And yes, I coffee stained this because normally it's the nice bright raw wood color. So I just dunked this in the coffee water, as well as the little hanger. I almost called it lube. The hanger that comes with it. Where is the original? I had it. Originally it will come in, oh, there it is, nice and white. So everything is vintage looking. You love coffee stained. Awesome. Sonia is new to Magnolia. Welcome. I am so glad you found us today. I'm also going to be adding a stencil to it. Okay, so the rub-on transfer it has a very long name. Distressed Compilation, okay? Yes, it's very large. I'm going to cut it down, and I'm going to have to pick and choose what part of it I want. I haven't decided yet because the whole thing is gorgeous. I can save what I don't use as long as I'm careful so that I can apply it to something else. Yes, you can put a rub-on transfer on fabric. If you follow my page, you may have seen me do it back with a Valentine banner, because we have banner with little pennants attached made out of the same fabric. Let's see. Okay, so the stencil I'm considering, and I may change my mind, is called Beauty Begins. I can go ahead and take it out of here for you so you can see it. Beauty begins the moment you decide to be yourself. So this could be a spring design. If you know, it has the florals on it. It could be an everyday look. It could be inspirational if you choose one of our stencils that has an inspirational message. I actually have a couple pulled out that I was considering. The Pray stencil, these are all 5x7s, and God is Good were a couple of others. So since I have them on hand, I may change my mind and use one of those. I'm just not sure. And right now I'm planning to use our white ink. So those are the supplies that I'm going to use. So I'm going to start off with the rub-on transfer. Let me get some things out of the way so I can look at this guy and figure out what part of it I want to use. If you've used our rub-on transfers, raise your hand. Tell me in the comments what you think of them. Do you have a favorite? Because we started getting them back in the fall. So we had a fall design, we had a winter or Christmas design, and then we had a Valentine's design. So this is our fourth opportunity to use the rub-on transfers from Magnolia, and now we have a huge selection with more to come. So keep an eye out for those. Thanks for sprinkling, Tammy. You like the Pray stencil, Janet? Yeah, I may go back. I may use that instead. We'll see. So what I want to do is I love the butterflies on this. I need to show you the detail. So if you're a butterfly person, you've got butterflies. If you're a music person, you have music. If you are floral, if you like vintage newspapers, if you like bumblebees and lace and all the good vintage stuff, it's all on here. Ooh, I just now saw all the lace down at the bottom. So let me lay this down. I was wanting kind of the butterflies to go with the Beauty Begins theme. So if I do the area with butterflies way over at the edge, I will have length to it to be able to bring in these really pretty blue flowers that I want. And then the stencil, yeah, I'm going to fill the whole thing, and then the stencil's going to go over the top. I want to make sure it fits. I think I'm going to stick with that because I'll get a little bit of the music and almost a little bit of everything. Not the bumblebee, because that'll probably save for something else. So let's do this. Let's get it lined up so I see the butterflies. I'm going to flip it over, and I am going to, let me see if I can trace my shape on here. Yep, my pencil, yeah, my pencil's working. I'm going to go ahead and trace around our pennant banner. Yeah, it's getting a very faint line, so of course let me put my glasses on before I cut this. I am going to do edge to edge unless I lay it out and decide to trim it up a little bit. So let me get my glasses on. Yes, I am going to do the ink over the rub-on transfer. I tested it out. I can put the stencil on it and it won't pull it up. So we're going to go for it. So let me cut this out. I know that Lisa got to use one of the rub-on transfers. Now I can't see my lines. This morning, she started us off. So if you love rub-on transfers, make sure you go back and watch Lisa's cross that she made. I may be cutting this too big. I can trim it up. I'd rather cut it too big than too small and then change my mind later. Ooh, I'm getting outside my line, that's for sure. Okay. Okay, so here's my shape. See, I'm getting a really good amount of the designs. And then look at all the little pretties that I still have left on here that I can use on smaller projects. So I'm gonna have to put this back in the sleeve when I'm done so that it stays in good shape. Let's see how we're gonna... Yolanda, you should only have to fill out the form once as far as I know. Yeah, I cut this way too big. It could go over the edge. That won't hurt anything. Let me get my stencil and kind of see how we're gonna line up. Yeah, I like that a lot. I can bring it down even. Okay. I'm actually gonna trim. Let me trim just a little bit of this side. Just because I know if it hangs over, then it's gonna want to attach to this outside edge. And I really don't want it to flop over this time. Typically it's okay if it goes over the edge because, you know, a lot of times it's a hard surface that I'm gonna paint over. So, you know, like I did, I don't know if you can see this little food riser down here. I used one of our other rub-on transfers on that. And that's what happened. When I had a little bit go over the edge, let me trim this. I'm gonna trim this in all the way around. Because I coffee stained my fabric, that color is going to blend in with this. So I need to get going because it takes a few minutes to rub the transfer onto the fabric. And if you're familiar with Magnolia, you know that we have both rub-on transfers and stencils. Don't get that confused. I know that you may hear the term transfer from other companies that make stencils. We call them stencils. And these are rub-on transfers. So when you're looking at our site, make sure you understand the difference there. And I know I'm missing questions and comments. I'm so glad that we have people that can answer those for you while we're here, because I am going to keep on going, guys. All right, so there's our fabric, coffee stained. I've got this gorgeous dark edge around the outside. Let me trim this up a little bit more over here. You could actually dye your fabric any color you want. If you were going with something and you wanted a bright color, you could do a bright color on it, anything. I'm loving this, I'm loving this. Okay, I'm trimming it up more, guys, hang on. Trimming it up more so that that edge shows. And then I want to straighten this up because you can see that white line and I can see a little bit of the design is uneven. So we're going to cut right into that. There we go. Just got your kit, Katrina. Congratulations. All right. So I wanted to keep a border edge because it's easier to pull the backer sheet off. The backer sheet is going to pull away. Your image is like a very, very thin sticker, and it's going to stick to this top piece of vellum plastic. So be careful, don't touch it on the back. You're only going to want to touch it where you have this top border, or where you're not going to worry about messing up, like if I had kept it large. So let's open this up. Let's pull this off. There we go. Oh, hold on. Okay, so because it wants to stick to the backer sheet. Hold on. Let me see if I can get it to pull away from the backer sheet. This top edge, I'm okay with it getting a little bit messed up. There we go. Hold on. Yeah, hold on, guys. There we go. You don't want it to stick to this. You want it to stay with the clear top. And it looks like it's pulled away slightly. Let me turn this. I'm going to have to try to, ooh, now I got to figure out where to pick it up and lay it down. Once I lay it down, it's going to stay there. And I did it. There we go. It's not completely straight. That's okay. That's part of why I did what I did with the fabric. Okay, so I'm going to rub this. Actually, it looks like this one, particular one, some of them will stick to the plastic a little bit better. This one looks like it's coming off pretty quickly. So first of all, before I pull this plastic off, I'm going to go ahead and you normally will rub over it with a straight edge. You can use a credit card. You can use something like this. It's like one of those little Cricut tools that you get at the Dollar Tree. You can use a craft stick if you want to. So even though I see this is pulling away from my clear topper sheet, I'm going to go ahead and press it down really well to get it down into the fabric so that it doesn't come back up. So especially my edges. Okay. Hello, Yadira. How are you? Oh, Christina, you are awesome. You are super sweet. I am so glad you're here with Magnolia now. Okay, now before I go any further, I am actually going to see if I can trim off. Can you see how it's kind of going over that top edge? Let me see if I can trim. No, you know what? It's going to stick to my scissors. We'll just go with it. Let's see if we can pull the top sheet off. I hold it down before I pull this plastic sheet off to make sure it's completely pulling away and I don't have anything staying stuck on that plastic. There we go. Just a little bit of that top edge. That's okay because nope, that needs to be rubbed down. See, I do it slowly so I can catch this. It's because it's rounded. It's going to be a little bit of a stinker. There we go. We got it to pull away. Ah, it went out of my hand. There we go. So just a little bit of that top edge stuck, which is okay. But I'm not going to get rid of this yet. I always forget. Now, it is not sticky on the top. I can touch it, okay? It's kind of like vinyl, very, very thin. Could I put parchment paper top of the transfer with a cool iron to help it? I would not iron this. I do not think this is heat proof at all. I've not tried it, but I don't recommend that. Okay, so now I'm actually just going to press this down over the top edge and I am going to just let it stick to it. I'm not going to try to take it off. So something else I want to do before we're done with this part is I want to burnish it. So I can take this plastic cover, it doesn't matter which side, and I can actually, I'm going to cut it down so that I can hold it in one hand. Let me just cut a piece of it. Okay? Cut a piece of it and use it kind of as a barrier between this and my fingers because my fingers have oil and might be sticky, but this is nice and smooth. And I'm going to rub over it. It's what is called burnishing. And it really works it down into the fabric to stick even better. So I'm not going to have to worry about it peeling off. Has anybody else ironed on top of a rub-on transfer like we were talking about? Heart and Grit Designs, how are you? I'm actually going to rub right along this edge too, where it folded over, because this is where I didn't get to scrape it with the scraper tool. Sharon Durango, welcome in. Oh, Crafty Peacock, my sweet Leah, you are amazing. She's coming on later too. I have about 10 minutes, guys. That should be plenty of time. Let me rub over this edge. And we are attached. So I can throw all of this excess and all of my little bits away so I don't get anything. What do you think? Isn't that cool? Isn't it so sweet? I love it. And this would be really neat, really cool just to have just like this. But I want to add a little bit to it. So I'm going to do the stencil. And I'm choosing ink. You could use chalk, but chalk has a tendency, if it is on fabric, when the fabric bends and the chalk dries, it might crack and peel off. So ink doesn't do that when it dries. I will not be heat setting this. I know I'm confusing you guys. I hope I'm not, because typically when you put ink on fabric, you're going to iron it to make it permanent. Well, this isn't going to go in the washing machine. I'm not going to worry about it being washed and the ink coming off, because I don't think this would withstand being washed. So it's just going to hang on the wall. So all I need is something that can be flexible and can hang on the wall, and ink will do that for me. Thank you so much, guys. Okay, so I fuzzed this quite a bit because, again, this is kind of a vinyl finish. I don't want it to peel it back off my fabric. So I want this to not be so sticky. All of our stencils, when you first get them, are super sticky so that they last you a good long time in several uses and washes. So we add fuzz to it so it doesn't pull up whatever you're applying it to. It may be a painted surface, it may be another stencil that you have stenciled over, whatever might be underneath it. This sticky might pull it up unless you add some fuzz. You can add fuzz with our tacky towel, or you can use a tea towel, your jeans, a t-shirt, anything like that. So I'm just gonna kind of line this up to go between my little butterfly design and the edge, and then I'm just gonna gently smooth out the air bubbles right where the design is. They're made out of vinyl and silk screen and are reusable. You wash them with water. I have a little water tub right here. I'm gonna put it in so that I can take it to the sink when I'm done and wash the ink off of it. Our ink is formulated to work where it goes through that silk screen and onto your surface and stay there when you pull the stencil up. Paint won't do that, guys. I've had that question. Where's my ink? Here it is. I've had that question. Paint is super thin. It's not the same consistency as our ink or as our paste. This is thicker and it can stand up better when you pull the stencil off. Ink will not, or paint will not do that. Is this a brand new bottle? No. Okay, good. Alrighty. So I did want to tell you a few things that I love about Magnolia, which I'll get to here in a second while we're embellishing. So I've got a little bit of ink on my squeegee, and I'm just going to very gently spread this across. I'm not going to put hardly any pressure to start with, okay? I will put a slight bit more pressure on it as I clean up my excess, okay? Now I'm not overloading it. I'm not like dumping and just smearing it around, okay? I am being careful to not go over the edges of my stencil. I could use multiple colors if I wanted to, but I think this is going to stand out really well with just the one color. Now, when I'm going back over it to clean off my excess, don't leave your excess on there, because when you pull your stencil off, it becomes really thick blobs that just kind of ooze. So clean off your excess. I bring my squeegee up at almost pretty much a 90-degree angle, almost, maybe more like this. And I just gently drag it across and it picks up what is in excess. So it has pushed through the silk screen, just the right amount to apply to your surface. And then you're cleaning up your excess so you don't get too much. Got a little bit of a ridge there. All right. So now I'm going to carefully pull my stencil up and hope that it's not going to pull up the transfer where I pressed it down. It is slightly pulling up the transfer. Let me come from this direction. I should have burnished it more. I should have burnished it more, guys. I'm being really careful. But hopefully the fact that it, hang on, I'm thinking here. Hopefully the fact that it is a, you know, an antique look, if it pulls up some, it's pulling up quite a bit. Guys, I did test this out. I just pressed down really, really hard. I pressed down too hard. So, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and pull this up. I'm just carefully going around, trying to get it to pull away from the rub-on transfer. Okay. Any of you who do live videos, here's a fail for you guys. It happens. It happens to everybody. It happens to everybody. It pulled up a bunch of the transfer. So I'm going to wash this. As long as I get this in water, I should be able to get that to clean off the back. And then honestly, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to cry over it because I can fix this to some degree, okay? You see, heat gun, warm, adhesive. Yes, I can get that off the back, okay? I can even add just a tiny bit of Dawn dish soap to the water and it should clean off the back. Okay, so I've got part of the stencil on here, and what I will do, okay, I know that looks really sad, but the rest of it's beautiful, right? So what I'm actually going to do, and I love the fact that because I coffee stained this, it's kind of giving it a distressed look because it's coming through the back. So it is an experience, Anne-Marie. So when I clean this, it will take me a few minutes to clean it, to dry it, and to carefully reapply it, and I'll do the ink again. Okay, I will do the ink again, then those words are going to pop off of the back, and I think it's going to look nice. So let me go ahead and add just a little bit of the embellishments that I talked about, and then I should be able to post a picture of the finished result. Okay, so let me go ahead and put the little dowel rod in here, and I do want to tell you, I'm just going to add a few ribbons to it. That's all I'm going to do. I wanted to tell you a few of the things that I love about Magnolia, okay? When I joined the company, it looks distressed, Stephanie, thank you. When I joined the company in 2020, I was anxious, excited, overly stimulated to build a business. I was so stinking excited. I jumped right in and started doing live videos. And you know what? I'm trying to decide. Am I going to use the tie or not? Let's go ahead and attach the original string. So what excited me the most was the fact that I joined in to a community of supportive crafters who helped me build my business, gave me the strength to jump in and do live videos, to not only do live videos, but jump in and start trying to sell product, to bring people into the company, to expand into all kinds of things that I wanted to do. I found that support system, guys. You won't find it anywhere else, okay? So I just have a grouping here of different kinds of lace and trim, okay? This is called seam binding, that I also have coffee stained and have, I love the effect that it gives. You can even add some jute. I'm going to add some jute in here too. So all of this is going to get tied on. So the support system I found has been second to none. It's been absolutely astounding. And as a result, I've had the confidence to really grow my business. So I just want to give a shout out to Lisa, Crystal, Kathleen with the company, and my upline, Heidi, Jen, Liz, all of you who have been so supportive and so amazing, okay? That is my number one takeaway from the company, that I have the option to do whatever I want to with my business. I don't have rules I have to follow except my own, and I have the support system. So please take that from my heart to yours and know that Magnolia is for anybody. So if you have a creator and you think you might want to do this, reach out to that creator for information. And if you're looking for a creator, go to magnoliadesignco.com and you can find one. And I'm going to trim this up and I am done. Okay, so we're going to turn this into something even more beautiful. Thank you for being here. Please refresh your Magnolia Design Co. website or Facebook page screen and you will see Amy Seraphin, who's coming on after me. Thank you for your time and have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.